We are on the final 3 missions of the Empire route, and oh my god, we are so close to 100%. After we get through these final 3 missions of the Empire route, collect Cecilia's Ending, we're gonna head straight into the Kingdom route, and from there, finish up with the bad ending. I'm so sorry, I didn't think this through. I thought the first stream should get the good ending, and then that's it. That's all I thought. So we're gonna finish up the entire 100% series with a bad ending, the apocalyptic ending. It's like Final Fantasy 14, right? All over again. So let's get started here. Let's go check our stats before anything. So let me turn on my controller here. There we go. Everything's working fine. Excellent. Alright, so here's the status. So everybody, Bastion is level 25, 22, 21, 21, 23, 21, okay? Here's the thing about these last missions. So, they are hell. Like, to be frank, they are absolutely hell if you have not been spreading out your experience throughout all your characters. But, here's the kicker. If you do that, and Cecilia basically was ignored for the very final mission, that's going to be even more hell. Because, well, the final mission is literally just Bastion and Cecilia fighting together against Zulwarn. So, we all know how strong Zulwarn is. Basically, it means we're going to die if Cecilia is at a really low level, because one-on-one Ultra Gunner versus Zulwarn, Zulwarn wins every time. There's just nothing, there's no way to avoid it. So, let's check our stats for the final time. Well, I guess for the final stream. So here we go, all the dormant skills, attack skills, and support skills for every single character. Isn't that awesome? Oh man, I'm so glad about this. I'm so glad. I really am. Not that we're ending Vanguard Bandits soon, but the fact that we are almost at 100%. I've never done 100% of Vanguard Bandits in one go. So this is a huge achievement for myself, and I hope you're all enjoying it. So, we ended up in Cecilia's ending branch because her morale was higher than Sadira's by the end of Sharking Attack, which is chapter 17. That's your key. That's the key thing. If you are worried about not getting to Cecilia's branch by this point, have her die as much as possible and always defeat enemies from the back before Sharking Attack ends. You will have a shot at getting into Cecilia's branch if you do that, but if you don't, I'm sorry, you're in Sadira's branch. So, Cecilia loves us, so now what we can do is we can start talking to Sadira now, as well as anybody else, because morale matters not anymore. So let's see what Sadira has to say. This used to be my country, Bastion. The Empire was my home. It's always fun to speak with you, Bastion. You're very amusing and very cute. Haha. Not that it's, like, my business, but Sadira has totally noticed how you talk to Cecilia more than her. Okay, briefing time. Now we are at Vanillin Fort. There are 2 ATCs outside the fortress, but how many are inside? Before recent events, there would have been 8 ATCs stationed inside. Now, of course, you have, like, no idea whatsoever. What if there are more than 8? What if they're Sharkings? Maybe I should have let Daddy come. Thank you for the pep talk, Claire. Dispatch the defense force. The rebels are here. Rebels. Only 2 more ATACs? I refuse to believe that Faulkner would make such a blatant strategic error. It might be hard to believe, Bastion, but Faulkner is human. Perhaps he forgot to send more ATACs here. I suppose so, Cecilia. Like, I think you're right, Bastion. Faulkner's not dumb. There must be more ATACs hidden somewhere. Let's fight with caution. Alright, so if you're here from the Sadira ending branch, which is the previous Empire run we did, You'll notice that this is exactly the same mission, except for the fact that Cecilia is now with us. She didn't go infiltrate the Empire this time. So Cecilia is with us. The next mission is going to be slightly different, but for all intents and purposes, this is the exact same mission as the previous Empire run we did, just plus Sadira, or excuse me, plus Cecilia. So knowing that, we know that moving up forward is basically not a death sentence, but it is not an optimal way to fight, because these 4 Imperials are going to escape after everybody makes their turn. So what's going to happen is the Kingdom forces are going to appear back here, and they're going to take up all these slots over here. The great thing is we can move all our characters and position them here so that we can end up having back attacks everywhere, right? So we can do more damage than if we had them come towards us, as well as get more experience. Now here's the thing to remember. You're on this Cecilia ending branch now, so you have to focus solely on leveling up Bastion and Cecilia, especially making sure Cecilia has, I guess, increased her defense more, right? Because right now she's max agility. Against Zulwarn, that's nothing. His dexterity is so high that 32 agility matters not. So we're going to have to focus on giving her as much defense points as possible. As for Bastion, it's the same deal, right? If we power him up all with power, we can do more damage to Zulwarn. But the problem with this is that if Bastion gets hit, he takes a lot of damage. So we might have to just power all the way, ignore weapon, which was one of the original plans, and then increase our dexterity and defense equally, right? So we take less damage and can still hit Zulwarn because it is very agile. So that's the plan. We're going to move Cecilia over here. We're going to face south. Let's move Sadira all the way in the back. She has the most movement range, so she definitely goes here. Always have them facing south. And we're going to have Bastion facing here. We're going to have him facing south also. Claire, basically you want to move them as far back as possible, taking up these positions that I am having them sit in. As for Franco and Halak, basically have them near the bush, facing west, or was it east? And basically protecting one another, because Franco, he will get destroyed really quickly. Like I said, everybody wants to kill him at all times. Retreat! What's going on? Why are they retreating? Hey there! What? The Kingdom Army? And the man who leads them into battle is Duke Zera, the leader of Avalon. What's going on here? Like, I have no idea. I am Duke Zera from the Avalon Principality. I believe I am addressing Prince Bastion and Princess Sadira. You are Duke Zera. Please give us a chance to explain why we're here. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions first. Is that alright, Prince Bastion? Of course, I can hardly blame you for wanting to understand our motives. Princess Sadira, have you allied yourself with Prince Bastion? Actually, I consider us allied with each other, but yes, I suppose. Prince Bastion, this is the most important question of all. I ask that you answer honestly. I shall be, Duke Zera. What will you do with the Ultra Gunner now? My first goal is the very reason we have come here. I am going to defeat Faulkner and end the war. Until that madman is stopped, the continent will never be safe. And after you crush him? I don't know. I certainly don't intend to wage another war, or to abuse the Ultra Gunner's power. Bastion strikes me as an honest man, Ganlon. I feel that he speaks the truth. But, sir, of course he's lying. He doesn't, want us to destroy him. What do you think, Ione? Reyna? I did not travel with him for long, Duke Zera, but he impressed me as an honest and kind young man. My impression has not changed. I agree with Ione. Bastion might slip into occasional sexism, but is there a male who doesn't? If anything, Zera, the only person whose behavior has been suspicious is Ganlon's. What? How, rude. And how entirely accurate. You are an atrocious liar, Ganlon. Faulkner! You. What kind of ATAC is that? The Shadow ATAC it is. I vaguely recall Father speaking of a Shadow ATAC, but I never imagined anything like that. Allow me to introduce you all to the instrument of your destruction. It exists in perfect disharmony with the Ultra Gunner, the darkness which devours the light. This is Zulwarn. I've heard legends about Zulwarn, but all of them end with Ultra Gunner destroying it. So how does it stand before us? The legends were wrong. Zulwarn merely changed its form and went into a long sleep, I suppose. Now the sleeper has awakened. Bastion, there's another legend about Zulwarn, a legend that it needs more than a power stone to run. I heard that it needs blood. What? No. Ugh. It was not an easy task, Zera, but I was able to round up a few hundred useless people for the sacrifice. I do regret the fact that I now have fewer subjects to rule over, but I will manage to go on. What have you done? Why, I have acquired the power of God, dear Sadira. Why don't I give all of you a demonstration? What's he trying to do? I don't know, Bastion. Ugh! 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 What is this? Faulkner, what are you doing? I am awakening the evil power within you, Ganlon. I am placing you under the control of the Zulwarn. Now then, my puking little pets, kill those who would stop me. What has he done? Duke Zera, what's wrong? Can't you hear me? Zera, say something! You can scream yourself hoarse, boy, but you will receive no response. Zera and the others are under my thrall. They hear only my voice now. You pathetic coward. I prefer to think of myself as a man who carefully chooses my battles. Consider this a test. Defeat your friends here, and I shall kill you myself in the Imperial capital. Wait! Damn it. Should we, run away? We can't, Claire. They would only hunt us down and give Faulkner time to build more ATACs. They would only hunt us down and give Faulkner time to build more Sharkings. If we retreat now, we have already lost the war. Then we must destroy the ATACs without harming our friends inside. As difficult as it will be, Bastion, it is also our only choice. Okay, here we go. Now, just like I said, this is the exact same battle as the Sadira route. Sadira branch. So the stats are exactly the same. Your real threats are Galvis, because this guy has freaking Flare Bomb and his power is not as strong as Dion, but he is very powerful, so you have to make sure he never hits you with a Flare Bomb. Zero also has his unique attack, Sonic Blade. This can hit you for up to 3 spaces away, and it is basically a souped up Turbulence. Ganlon also. He is not as strong, but the fact that he has Fireball makes him more dangerous, and he's also really quick, so you have to be careful with that. As for Ione and Reyna, you, just like before, you don't have to worry about them too much. Reyna, though, does have Reyna's trick, and that is a very dangerous attack to be hit by, so you want to do your best not to get hit by it. So freezing is the way to go for this battle. And here is the funny thing that I found in the previous Empire route run. Ione has the Sardonis. If you look at the bottom left, Sardonis is the Earth Seal Stone. It's a level 5 Seal Stone, and level 5 Sealing Stones are unique to excavated ATACs. And whose excavated ATAC does the Sardonis belong to? Duyer himself. It is the Sarbellas's unique sealing stone. So it's interesting that Ion has it even in this ending branch, and in a Hyzeron at that, which is a common ATAC in the kingdom. So it's very fascinating that I guess QA missed it. Okay. As for support skills, you don't need to worry about them. When an enemy has a support skill, they will never use it. So yeah. So in terms of priority of who to defeat, you want to get rid of Galvus as quick as possible. You want to get Zera gone, as well as Ganlon. Reyna is probably in the same position as Ganlon in threat level because she has Reyna's trick. But otherwise, Ganlon or Reyna should be the last ones to go. Well, be the third one to go. But we're going to alter that slightly because all our characters are actually really powerful. And because of that, we can wipe out the small fries, right? Kingdom 1, 2, 3, and then I guess Kaidul, who happened to have survived. So he's here too. So we're going to wipe out the Glaives before we wipe out Zera and Galvus. So she needs to use Somersault. And we're going to watch it happen because it looks really cool. Okay, like I said, we need to power up Cecilia. So we're going to increase her defense. We need to make it maybe at least, let's see, maybe at least 18. Just so that she doesn't get one-shotted, right? And we'll do a double wind strike. There we go. Now Sadira's not joining us for a final battle, so we can safely just give her everything towards agility. Oh, actually, before we continue on this battle, there's something I failed to mention. The next mission will allow you to enter a shop. So we're gonna do our final shopping spree, and basically we're just gonna buy everything we need. For Cecilia, we have the Dex ring, right? Which is good. It's good to have. We might... Wait, what am I talking about? Oh, no. For the next mission, we're going to buy the rest of the items to power up Halak, Franco, and Claire because they don't have Kunzite yet. We avoided getting it because they don't need it. But the next mission, we can buy it just because that's the last time we're going to be able to shop, and the mission is... and the game is over after the final mission, so might as well spend our money, right? Okay, so Sadira has one more attack, and we'll attack Kingdom 2. Remember, we're gonna let Cecilia take all the kills, basically for, well, all the kills where she'll get the most experience. Otherwise, Bastion will take kills. So we're gonna max out his power first, and then we'll start increasing his defense, as well as his agility. Well, actually, just his defense. We want him to be able to do as much damage as possible. No, wait, what am I talking about? I'm gonna max out his power first, and then I'm gonna increase his dexterity by 1 and defense by 2. We're gonna make sure he can't be defeated easily by Zulwarn. Okay, let's hit Galvus from the back. Excellent. Now, because Claire's getting Kunzite in the next battle, as well as I believe a Durandar. I don't think she has it. We'll increase her power by 2, and then with Kunzite and Durandar, power will hit max stats. So from here, I guess we can increase her. We'll increase her base and dexterity by 2 for every subsequent level up. We'll also give Searing Flame to Halak so that she doesn't die. In her turn, Cecilia can go again, and she'll take down Kaidul. Now, I'm attacking from the back, so that means getting less experience. That sucks, but it's the nature of this positioning. So we'll move forward in front of Bastion, and Sadira will go ahead with Wind Strike, not him. And let's double check. Do they have a range to attack? They have Ice Storm, so they can all hit Halak. Let's go and Wind Strike this Kingdom 3. I'll do it twice. There we go. It's in her turn. Zera's gonna use Sonic Blade. Yep. Now, if you haven't seen Sonic Blade before, this is what it looks like. So, it looks like a bigger turbulence, but it's actually very powerful. Okay, 70% is something that will definitely hit us, so we're just going to defend. Franco can go ahead with Flare Bomb on Galvus. As you can see, they're getting tons of experience. It's good. And for Franco, the Sharkings are going to wipe him out in the next mission if I basically don't properly level him up. So we're going to alter this strategy. We did base power and defense for the previous missions. Let's alter it slightly. Will increases dexterity, agility, and defense by 1 point each. And again, we will not use Searing Flame. We'll use Bastion to go ahead with Splitting Smash on Galvis. Actually, Cecilia is level 24. She'll take that kill. We'll do double Lightning Strike on Zera. Duke Zera, wake up! It's no use. Okay, so there's also unique dialogues that we need to get, and that is, let's see, Bastion against Ganlon, Galvis, Zera, and Reyna. I don't believe Ione and Bastion have a unique dialogue with each other, but I believe Sadira has a unique dialogue with just Zera, so I'll double check with the other characters, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna defend this. We'll avoid. Okay, we can't avoid. And probably hit Claire. Yep. Excellent. Okay, so Claire can go ahead, not Flare Bomb Galvis. We can Flare Bomb Ganlon. Okay. So he's at 60% or 60 FP, which means he's going to skip his next turn. Okay, Sadira, we'll use Turbulence so we can, let's see if we get something with Galvis. Actually, yeah, let's do it with Galvis. Okay, nothing with Galvis. How about Ganlon? I know she doesn't talk with Reyna or Ione. No, and she's frozen. Should have paid attention to that. Okay, let's take down Kingdom 2 with Cecilia. There we go, and we're going to move her in front. We want to make sure that Ione won't move in front of Sadira and wipe her out. Which they won't, but they'll do a lot of damage. Okay, Strong Slash, that means we're going to go ahead with Flare Bomb. And we missed. See how crazy that is? Okay, well, Halak is gone. So remember, the priorities are to keep Cecilia and Bastion and make sure they level up. We are not going to defeat Zera yet because Sadira still has to talk. Sadira still has to talk to him. And yeah, we'll do I was going to do Splitting Smash, but I can't. Let's talk to Galvis here. I thought you despised the Empire, old man. And now you're allowing them to manipulate you? Snap out of this evil trance, Galvis. I know you can do it. Wake up. Oh wait, I was supposed to give, oops, I was supposed to give that to Cecilia. Okay, I'll give her, maybe, I'll give her Zera then. Okay, so we can do Flare Bomb on, let's see which character comes next in the turn order. There we go. So Cecilia Claire is next, then Kingdom 1, which is that guy right there. Then Ganlon comes in, and then Zera. So we have, Zera can use Sonic Blade right away, so we have to move Claire. Oh, that was wrong. There we go. Wait, is that right? Shoot. Ah. There we go. Okay, so we have to move Cecilia so that we can block off Zera from coming too close, because if he comes too close, he's going to guaranteed to use Sonic Blade on Sadira. So we have to block off that from happening. We have Ione who's going to come up next. So this is what we can do. We'll put Cecilia right here. We'll move Claire down this way. And then... No, nothing we can do can protect Sadira. We'd have to drive up the FP in order for that to happen. So... No, Sadira's gonna go. Well, that's okay. We're not trying to level her up anyways. It was more of just protecting her for no other reason than just to protect her. Okay, let's go ahead and use Searing Flame on Bastion. And let's move in front of... Let's move here. We can use Tornado. Not on 0, but Kingdom 1. Maybe we can use this. We can stop Ganon in his tracks. There we go. And our turn here, Claire can use Flare Bomb on Ganon. This will... Actually, let me check. Ganon is at 84 AP now, or FP. And... we can use Flare Bomb on Ione. And then we'll stop. We'll actually move here, because Ganon isn't going to move now. Kingdom 1 is going to attack Sadira. And she has one... Oh! Okay, we're going to defend with her. Good, she dodged. Okay, good. He's attacking Cecilia. Okay, that's okay still. Okay, so since it is Ione, we can just go ahead with like a Splitting Smash. But if we use Soaring Dance, I believe we'll end up being frozen. Yeah. So you see Splitting Smash on Ione. No. We gotta level up. We gotta level up. What's her name? Cecilia. So let's make sure Cecilia survives. We'll use Holy Light on her. Then we can not attack. Sadira can move about. We'll move Sadira out of danger. So if we move here, we'll be able to do a Turbulence on Zebra right away. There we go. Turbulence Zebra. Let's watch it happen. Duke Zebra, please. Please open your eyes. He is lost to us. Now we'll have Cecilia. Who comes next? Ganon, which is okay. He'll probably attack Franco, knowing him. So we'll move in front of Zera, and we'll go ahead with Somersault. Okay, let's increase her defense again. We'll end our turn. Ganon's probably going to attack Franco. No, he's going after Claire. There. Oh no. Okay, Claire might be gone. So let's watch. Let's just watch this. Can you believe that just happened? That is amazing. Claire dodged at plus 90% attack and magic counterattack with a flare bomb. Those are the moments that make this game insanely awesome. It's even better when there's a 99% chance of hitting you, but it still misses. So freaking cool. Okay, so I totally forgot what we were doing with her, but that's okay. Let's just do Dex, Agility, and Defense. So cool. I love seeing that. Okay, Franco can go ahead with Flare Bomb on Ganon. That'll weaken him enough. And we'll use... I was going to say Searing Flame on Cecilia, but she's too far away. Okay, Claire... We don't care about her surviving. It's great if she does, but... Yeah, it doesn't exactly matter. So Cecilia is about in level parity with Bastion, so let's go ahead and start. We'll leave Zero alone, right? Because he's level 25, she's level 25, so let's see, she has 483. She will level up, hopefully, after she defeats Zero. Let's take down Ione. Not from the back, we're gonna hit from the side, like so. Actually, Ganon might be better. Wait, she has She's at a higher level than Gamlon, which is interesting. Let's see if we can hit him. I believe they have their own unique dialogue too. No, they don't. Maybe it's a unique dialogue with Reyna. I'm pretty sure Bastion had... I'm very sure Bastion had at least 3. Okay, Claire's gone. Okay, so Sadira can go ahead with... If she gets frozen, I guess that would be okay. Let's hit Ione. Let's make sure Ione can't just like waltz off somewhere. Then who comes after Ione? Zera's next and Gamlon. So Gamlon would probably come close to Sadira if she gets frozen. So let's end her turn. We somersault and we'll finish off Zera. $297, that's interesting. I distinctly remember on level parity, you get at least 400 something, 450 plus. Maybe it's due to Somersault not being very high powered, possibly. So we'll leave Cecilia right here. Okay, yeah, you see what I mean? Everybody wants to kill Franco. They avoid Cecilia's back. Okay, 260. Now, the reason why we're leveling up based on defensive capabilities is specifically because the next mission is basically all Sharkings, and those Sharkings are very powerful. They are very hard to defeat. That is really the only reason. Okay, let's just go ahead and use a normal thrust. And with Sadira, we can go ahead with a double tornado on Ione. We're not going to use Flare Bomb. We're going to go ahead with Searing Flame on Bastion. This will increase his attack power, right? And the more attack power you deal, the more experience you get in return. So that's why we're doing that. The Bastion can move from Gamlon for more experience. Now, Lightning Strike, not Ione, but Gamlon from the front, and hopefully this hits. It's 47%. Let's watch it happen. Very nice. Okay, so with Bastion, we're gonna max out his power. From there, it's... let's see. I believe I said 1 to Dex and then 2 to Defense. Or was it the other way around? Let's just go with 2 Dex, 1 Defense. And then we can't do anything. We'll get frozen if we do. Can we somersault this guy? We can. Ione should be level 24. Reyna should be 24 also. She's less interesting. You would think Ione would be a lower level than Reyna, but not the case. Okay, there we go. Now we're increasing her defense still. Go. And I said at least 18 towards her defense. Now from here, we're going to go and focus on putting 2 points to her defense and then 1 to base. There's a specific reason for that. I'll release a guide video on what it is, and it's actually really interesting. It's like the optimal way of leveling up. Let's avoid. Oh man, that hurt. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Cecilia. Okay, well, she's gone. It's a good thing we are on her ending branch. Guess we are just doing normal power up Bastion now. End our turn. Franco can go ahead Flare Bomb on. Let's hit Reyna. We'll get the experience for it. Bastion can sit here. Unfortunately, he can only do, let's see, normal thrust as well as a lightning strike on Reyna. Reyna, can you hear me? Damn you, Faulkner. Okay, let's do, what's my 264? So if I do Soaring Dance on Reyna, it might miss, and if it misses, we both get frozen. But that's okay. It's gonna be fun to see if we actually hit her. Okay, so Bastion is frozen. It's okay. He is very, like, he's not going to die at all. So he's perfectly safe. So let's use Tornado. We'll make that, that guy skip his turn. And we'll also, I guess we can do this. End our turn. There we go. Franco can go ahead and use another Searing Flame on Bastion. And Melting Flare on Kingdom 1. Okay, Sadira's gone. Strange enough, usually it's Franco who's always the first one to die, so he's a survivor apparently. Okay, let's just go ahead and... Soaring Dance actually worked. Awesome. And do another Soaring Dance. Okay, that missed. That's okay. Let's give Bastion another Searing Flame. Okay, do Soaring Dance again. Awesome. Just when I think Faulkner couldn't become any more evil, he does this. Turning our friends against us and sacrificing his own people. Now it's his life that shall be ended. I feel that I owe you all an apology for attacking you unjustly. I should have resisted the spell. It's alright, Duke Zera. I'm just glad you realize that Bastion is telling the truth about his lineage. Your Highness, I am sorry for having doubted you. I have brought dishonor upon the Kingdom Army. Nonsense. You did what you thought was right. I don't see any dishonor in your actions. I was able to make Ganon admit his involvement with Faulkner after a lengthy interrogation. I need to investigate further and determine the depth of Ganlon's betrayal. A fine idea. We need to know how much Faulkner knows. Your Highness, I know I am being abrupt by saying this, but I would desire nothing more than to have you return to the kingdom and restore it to glory. Perhaps, Galvis, but I can't consider that until I've defeated Faulkner. Don't place too much faith in my ability to make dreams come true, Galvis. I am only a man. Yes, Your Highness. It's time we started repairing the ATACs and tending to the wounded. Then we should rest here before our assault on the kingdom. Then we should rest here before our assault on the capital. We need to determine how to fight Zulwarn. Like, if we can fight Zulwarn. When I was hit by the waves from the Zulwarn, it felt as if my mind was being prodded by a red-hot poker. I lost consciousness. And when I woke up, you were pulling me from my ATAC. How horrible. I wonder why Bastion and I were able to escape Zulwarn's effects. Not that I'm complaining, mind you, especially after hearing Zera's tale. So, like, if the Zulwarn can do that to Duke Zera, who's using one of the excavated ATACs? I totally guarantee Faulkner will figure out a way to make it work on all of us. And what happens when none of us can resist his power? The enslavement of the continent is what happens, Claire. Our world will be cast into eternal darkness. We're under attack, everyone. There's a group of Imperial ATACs heading this way, and one of them is a Sarbellas. What? My brother, Duyer. We would help you if we could, but our ATACs are still being repaired. Don't worry, Duke Zera. I'm hoping that I can talk some much-needed sense into my brother. And if that doesn't work, I'll give him a much-needed beating. I sincerely believe that I wouldn't want to be your brother right now. Let's go. That's a Sarbellas, alright. I guarantee Duyere is inside. He won't let anyone else into the cockpit. So what happens if he's under the control of the Zulwarn? I don't know. Alright, just gonna give myself something to drink. Refreshing coffee. Alright, so let's do a quick save here. And we are saving over Royal ATAC. Excellent. Alright, so like I said, we are going to only have our party with us for this mission, and then the final mission after this will be only Cecilia and Bastion. So again, we're going to make sure Cecilia survives this time, as well as Bastion, and we're going to power them up explicitly, those two. So we're going to look at our stats now. Everything looks good still. As you can see, they're getting more defensive stats applied to them, which is vital for this mission. And then we need to make sure we get Franco, Kunzite, Alak Kunzite, and where is she? Okay, Claire Kunzite. Apparently they have Durandar. That's what a week does to you. You forget what you have. So let's go shopping and we'll give them Kunzites. They'll increase their power by 1, by the way, if you didn't know. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. And let's see here. Nobody else needs anything. The only one who ever really should have family jewels, although it's pretty cool, should really just be Bastion. So, yeah. So everybody has their Durandar already. And Cecilia has Widowmaker, so basically all we needed was Kunzite. Alright, there we go. So, we're basically good. Yeah. Alright, awesome. I say alright a lot, I know. Okay, let's do our interview. And Cecilia should be a heart by now, but she died, so let's bring her back up. Soon, Bastion, I will have to make the most crucial decision of my life, but I don't know if I'm ready. There we go, she's back to loving us. Let's talk to Sadie. Bastion, I feel as if you're drifting away from me. Is there anything you want to talk about? Awesome, and we'll talk to Clarice. Bastion, like, can't you see how much Sadira needs you? Or are you really that clueless? I'll speak with Duyere. I should know very quickly if he's under control of the Zulwarn. If he's under Faulkner's influence, promise me you'll try your best not to hurt him. Of course, Sadira. We'll use non-lethal strikes if we can. Alright, here we go. One of the hardest missions in the Empire route. Duyere, can you hear me? Not you, Duyere. Not you too. A valiant effort, Princess Sadira, but your princess is already under Faulkner's control. Thank you for confirming what I already knew, you traitorous filth. Actually, it would be more accurate to say that he has been brainwashed. What? His Highness has been under the control of the Zulwarn for so long that his power has spread through his body. He is now a vessel for the Ville Faulkner. Never. Brutal. Will Duyere ever be able to recover from such an infiltration of evil? Come, Your Highness, let us begin the invasion of the continent. We will take the Junaris Empire to new heights of glory. Invasion? Of course. Faulkner will not rest until the Empire crushes all the feeble nations in its path. We will never let you and Faulkner plunge this world into darkness. The only invasion that shall take place today is when my foot invades your bulbous backside, Zakov. Alright, so this mission is very difficult. Ideally, you want to literally stay in this over here, right? Just like when in the Kingdom Red, when you're invading the Junaris Empire's capital, you want to pretend you're the enemy. So ideally, you're going to stay here, but we're going to alter it a little bit. We're going to move forward far enough that we can use Turbulence on the bodyguards here, because if we can freeze them, we can wipe them out very quickly with Bastion and Cecilia. Actually, basically everybody, because they're all high-powered. The ones we have to worry about is Zakov and even Duyer this time. If you look carefully, he has Gaia Blade as one of the attacks. It is, although not as powerful as Terror Shock from Bahamut, it is still a really powerful attack. And he also has second attack, which makes him even more dangerous. And he has Assassinate, so if he hits you from the back, he's doing tons more damage. He has Hover Jets, he has everything that can make him a good assassin like Cecilia is. Zakov himself, just like with fighting Sharkings, you don't want to do frontal attacks as much as possible unless it's something like Flare Bomb, Melting Flare, or even Fireball, because the Sharkings, for some reason, have a higher rate of actually, deflecting attacks. So try hit from the side as much as possible. That also goes to the rest of these Sharking bodyguards too. So let's go ahead and use the Turbulence. So we're gonna move a little bit forward. 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we can do Turbulence, and we want to make sure that we never get too close to being frozen. So try not to get to 60 FP. So we're going to end here. Cecilia will go in front, well, beside Sadira, so she can also use Turbulence. And we'll go ahead with Roaring Wind. Now also remember this, because I don't hear it talked about a lot, but FP recovery is directly tied to how much AP you have at the end of your turn. So if you have 0 AP, you're reducing your FP by 0. So we're going to move Bastion a little bit forward. We'll move him approximately here, and we'll end his turn. If he's surrounded, I don't really think it's going to be a problem. So Claire being too far forward is a problem. Her defense is still pretty low, so we'll keep her behind Sadira, and we'll back up Sadira with Searing Flame, as well as use Flare Bomb. As for Franco and Halak, we basically just want them to do as much damage as possible and drive up enemy FP as much as possible. So they're going to basically attack the same, well, they're basically going to attack the same enemy as much as possible, so we can get that FP really high. Okay, so if we move here, we can use Melting Flare, or actually Flare Bomb, on the Bodyguard 3. There we go. One more Flare Bomb from Halak should do wonders. There we go. Bodyguard 3 will now skip its turn. Let me adjust the camera angle here so you can actually see. And we shall... He's using Strong Slash, so we'll just use Normal Thrust. Actually, yeah, I guess just Normal Thrust will be fine. Okay, Sadira, she has a unique... I believe she has a unique dialogue with Duyer, so we'll attack him once and see what happens. Duyer, listen to me. I'm begging you, Duyer. Open your eyes to what is happening here. Damn it! Okay. So, Sadira, just go like that. That's it. In the next mission, she's not going to be present. So that's why we're having Cecilia and Bastion only take kills, because they're the only characters in the party who are going to be present for the final mission. Okay, let's go ahead and somersault Bodyguard 2. End their turn. Bastion can go ahead with double Lightning Strike. This is actually a really spammable move. It generates not a lot of FP, but it generates not a lot of FP. It doesn't use a lot of AP, and it does a lot of damage. It's a very spammable and really useful attack. Okay, we'll maybe freeze this guy. Okay, so he's going to be currently at 60 FP, so we'll hit Bodyguard 4 instead. And make sure Sadira has Searing Flame again. And end our turn. So slash is not a knockback attack, so we're gonna just go. We're gonna go ahead with a fireball. Okay, Sadira can go ahead with double wind strikes, or not. Can we freeze this bodyguard? No. So this one's gonna die Cecilia. Let's back up Franco and Halak. Actually, no. Let's hit Duyere again, and we'll make sure that he gets frozen so we can take him out quickly. Okay, he's gonna skip his turn. And here. Strong Slash. If you're ever gonna be hit by Strong Slash, it's ideal to defend it, but Sharkings tend to attack from the sides. They tend to not attack from the front. End of turn. Duyere is gonna do nothing. Zakov's not going to move for maybe 1 or 2 more of his turns. Lightning Strike on Duyere. He could use Splitting Smash. This is what I mean. His agility is really high, so he's really hard to hit. He's actually way more dangerous here than he is in a lot of other missions. I think ideally we're going to have to... We're going to have to end our turn here. Our FP is too high. We can't risk Bastion dying, or we're going to have to redo this mission. Searing Flame on Claire. And Claire can go ahead with another Flare Bomb. Not on this guy, but on Bodyguard 3. There we go, and we'll do Searing Flame on Halak. Okay, that's not gonna do anything now. Turbulence on Duyere. Yeah. Okay. Let's end here. And Halak can go ahead with a Flare Bomb. Can she drive? Yeah. Okay. So all these Sharkins on the side here. Now we'll basically skip their turn. Okay, Gaia Blade. I'll show you what Gaia Blade looks like, and hopefully I dodge it. Ouch. Apparently I couldn't dodge it. Okay, here we go. We can go ahead with a Splitting Smash and hopefully we... Oh wait, no. Cecilia is level 26, so she should take the kill. And Zakov is level 27, I believe. He's 25. 25. Okay. Let's just hit the Sharkings with Bastion then. We'll use Splitting Smash. Once Bastion and Cecilia are at level parity, then we'll start basically focusing on giving Bastion the kills. Okay, one more level up and she should be good. Double check their HP. Okay, let's go ahead with Wind Strike on Bodyguard 1. We'll freeze this guy. And end our turn. Okay, Cutting Wheel. I'll show you what Cutting Wheel looks like. It's a very dangerous move and should be avoided at all costs. Okay, so Bodyguard 3 moved, and Bodyguard 4 is going to be able to make its own move. Let's use Flare Bomb on Bodyguard 3. Oh, wait, no. Wait. Oh, Bodyguard 1. There we go. Alright, so end our turn. Claire can go beside Bastion and use Searing Flame on him. Okay, there we go. Zakov's on the move now. So he's using a normal slash. So I guess we'll just do an avoid. Still got hit. Okay, Bastion, if I use Lightning Strike on Zakov, he does a lot of damage, but he might just end up reflecting it. So it's a high payout, high risk reward. And let's hit Zakov. Not even your precious Ultra Gunner is strong enough to withstand a squad of Sharkings. Why have you allied with Faulkner? Can't you see the evil you are helping him to create? Faulkner is the strongest man on the continent, you fool. By allying myself with him, I assure my survival, whereas you defy him and assure your death. Amazing. In 2 sentences, you have admitted to being both a coward and a weakling. Have you ever had the strength to do something on your own, or have you always been a leech? What? No one calls me a bloodsucker and lives. Okay, we'll do one more Lightning Strike on Zakov. There we go. And then with Halak, let's see, 60 HP and 37. Let's just move them closer to Bastion. Cecilia can go ahead with Somersault. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. We're going to end our turn here. And let's go ahead with... Oh, we can't even go anywhere. The Sharkings have Mass Menace for sure. That's why I can't get past them. Let's stop here and we will end our turn. Cecilia can go ahead with Somersault now. And we'll use Roaring Wind on Bastion. So for Claire, we'll also use Searing Flame on Bastion. Drop up his attack power so that he can one-shot almost everything. And then I believe the Sharkings are basically like at a point where they can be one-shotted by both Bastion and Cecilia. Almost, actually. There we go. Now they can be. Let's use Blink Smash, and we can't reach anybody here. Let's just go ahead and heal up Cecilia. I'm trying to bring Sadira closer to Zakov so that she can have her unique dialogue with him, because I believe they have their own. So, 1, 2, 3. Can't see. There we go. Alright, so I'll use Turbulence, and she's gonna go down, so that's okay. She's not joining us for the next mission. How can you willingly obey the orders of a psychotic dictator? Because that dictator will give me power I have only dreamed of. I curse the hideous woman in whose rotten womb you were conceived, you sadistic scumbag. What? How dare you speak ill of my dearly departed mother? You will die now. Very nice. So Cecilia is going to make this one kill and then she'll level up. And then Bastion will basically attack the rest of the Sharkings. We'll move Franco into a position where he can protect Sadira. Yes, we can. So we'll go like this. Turn off battle animations. And Halak can go ahead with Searing Flame on Cecilia. And let's end our turn. Cecilia is going to use Somersault and finish off Zakov. And get that excellent experience. My Sharking is shutting down. How many times must you brats defeat me? You will never stop Faulkner. Never! Alright, there we go. Now we'll increase her defense by... still by 3. There we go. Now she should be perfectly fine to fighting in the final mission. She shouldn't die in like one hit. So we're almost there. We've almost completed the Empire route. We just gotta get rid of these final sharkings and we're good. Okay, let's just avoid. Okay, soaring. Yeah, let's just do Splitting Smash. Okay, so let's go with, yeah, the defensive stats. Let's just increase the defensive stats from here on out. And we'll basically just give Searing Flame to Bastion again, and make sure Bastion gets these last 2 Sharking kills. Actually, whoever can get them first, either Bastion or Cecilia, will take the kills. Let's attack her in front for that extra experience. I guess we're gonna use Wind Strike. You know what, let's do this. If she can manage to counter this, I'm gonna be absolutely shocked and disappointed that we lost experience. As expected. It will use Searing Flame on Cecilia this time. And let's see who gets the kill. Cecilia or Bastion. Okay, Bastion's gonna get it, and we're gonna go ahead with Soaring Dance. And there we go. With this, we are now in the final mission for Cecilia's Ending branch. There's nothing left in our path now. Either we defeat Faulkner at the Imperial capital, or he takes over the continent. Faulkner may have already begun his invasion. Every moment we wait here is a moment wasted. How long will it take until everyone else's ATACs are repaired? Don't they realize what's at stake? Bastion. Hello, Cecilia. I know what you're planning to do, Bastion. I can see it in your eyes. What do you mean? You intend to invade the Imperial capital on your own. You're going to leave the others. How did you know? Because I understand you, Bastion. I know what it's like to shoulder a burden without any help. I'm afraid that Zulwarn will affect them as it affected Zera and Duyere. If that happened, all would be lost. You're leaving soon, I can tell. You're leaving before you can change your mind. Yes. I have to make a decision as well. What decision is that, Cecilia? Whether or not to continue the life of an assassin? Not exactly, Bastion. You'll know about my decision soon enough. I wish you had enough faith in me to tell me about it, Cecilia. Bastion. What? Look at me. When you see me, Bastion, you are the only person in this world who sees me as I really am. Cecilia. Believe in me, Bastion, and I will believe in you. I do believe in you, Cecilia. I believe in us. Sadira, like, how is your brother? Not good, Claire. Not good at all. His breathing is somewhat shallow, and he hasn't regained consciousness. In fact, he hasn't moved. I'm sorry. It's alright. We have to focus our attention on Faulkner, or we will all suffer Duyere's fate. You're right. Here's the situation. After having a chat with Zakov, I was able to find out what Faulkner was planning. He has one army marching through the kingdom, where it's set to attack Marquise Dion. But there's a second army heading for Nordalane, and a third group going to Hibernia. Once those countries have been taken over, the armies are going to surround Avalon, and that shall be the end. Each of these armies has more than enough Sharkings to wipe out any resistance, or so Zakov says. 3 armies of Sharkings? We've had a hard enough time defeating a single group of them. This is, like, really bad. If we go to the capital, Faulkner's armies will destroy the continent. There's nothing we can do. Actually, Sadira, there is something we can do. Let's hear it, Bastion. Sadira, Claire, Franco, and Halak will return to Norder Lane and join up with Duke Logan. Duke Zera will go to Hibernia and explain the situation to Lord Alden. Norder Lane and Hibernia will send their armies to attack the first 2 armies of Sharkings. Zera will keep his army in reserve and attack the 3rd Sharking group if they try to join the fight. Commander Galvas and Marquise Dion will strike randomly to keep the Imperial forces off guard. I realize this isn't much of a plan, but the alternative is to let Faulkner reduce the continent to ashes. Does anyone object to my proposal? It seems logical enough. Unfortunately, there really seems to be no sane alternatives. I totally agree. I don't want to be put on defensive, but I don't want to let my home be destroyed. Bastion? Yes, Sadira? You mentioned what all of us will do, but you never mentioned what you were going to do. That's right, because I'm not going with you. Where are you going, Bastion? To the Imperial capital, to destroy Zulwarn and kill Faulkner. What? Huh? He's obviously sent the vast majority of his forces to invade the continent. The capital is thus unguarded. Besides, Faulkner is too egotistical to believe that he needs guards at all. I'll march into the capital and show him just how wrong he is. No, Bastion, what you're talking about is a suicide mission, not a plan of attack. Have you considered that this might be a trap? Of course, Sadira, I'm sure I'll have 1 or 2 traps waiting for me, but they can't and won't stop me. Why don't you wait until we have defeated the Sharking armies? No, if we do that, we lose the element of surprise. A simultaneous attack is the best choice. If he heads for the front lines, I'll follow and attack him from behind. Dishonorable, but effective. But what if he's able to hypnotize you with the Zulwarn? He can't, Sadira, not as long as I remain within this Ultra Gunner. But... Calm down, Sadira. Think it over. If we go with Bastion, we'll just be hypnotized and forced to attack him, you know? But... Like, no but, Sadira. Bastion's plan is the only one that makes sense. Not to me, it doesn't. Duke Zera, do you think it's a bad idea for me to attack the continent? If anyone has a chance for success, it's you, Bastion. We defend the continent, and you kill Faulkner. If it works, it works. It will be the ending we've all worked for. Thank you, Zera. You are certainly welcome. I better leave now, before we lose any more time. Bastion! What's the matter, Sadira? I don't know why I'm thinking this, or saying this, but... What is it? I have this horrible feeling that I'm never going to see you again. I couldn't bear that, Bastion. You worry too much, Sadira. I'll see you again soon. I promise. Oh, Bastion. This is the Imperial capital, but there's absolutely no one here. Did Faulkner evacuate the city? Or did he sacrifice his own people in order to feed the Zulwarn? You have committed your final atrocity, Faulkner. This time, it is your blood which will flow. Alright, just gonna have something to drink before we go through the final mission. Alright, here we go. Let's check out our stats for the final time and see just how beastly we are. We are almost a level 30. I've never in my entire life gotten level 30, so... but these stats are actually amazing. And like I said, Cecilia and Bastion are going to be the only ones in the battle, so we need to make sure that they're both ready for it. And as for equipment, we have Family Jewels on Bastion and Dex Ring on Cecilia. So let's save the game, go through our final briefing, and get Cecilia's ending. This is the final battle. You killed my father, Faulkner, and now you will die. The Prince of the Kingdom. What a delight it will be to watch my ATAC devour your soul. You don't frighten me, Faulkner, and neither does your unholy Zulwarn. I will have my revenge, Faulkner, not just for my father, but for all the lives you have destroyed. You're not afraid of me, Bastion? Well then, I shall have to put the fear of God into you. Come, Faulkner, come and feel the cold embrace of death. Alright, so we have Heaven's Gate. There's nothing we can really do about this, so we're going to defend. And you see, Faulkner, Zulwarn has no power over me. In your zeal to destroy me, Bastion, have you forgotten about the battles which your friends are waging? Are you not troubled by thoughts of their imminent slaughter by the sharking hordes? My friends will win, Faulkner, just as I will. Your defeat will be absolute. So yeah, this is actually a really difficult mission, but only if you haven't prepared for it. And even then, it's still a little bit difficult. Cecilia? Indeed it is. What are your orders? Cecilia! Kill him. What? No. Oh, no, not Faulkner. Yes. All this time you were spying on us and reporting to him? And a very fine job she did, Bastion. I was always aware of your actions, and you never thought to ask why. We were constantly being ambushed by Imperial ATCs on our journeys, and I always wondered how you located us so quickly after I entered the temple of the Ultra Gunner. Now I know. Oh, Bastion, you sound on the verge of tears. Do you need a tissue? Why, Cecilia? Why? Because I paid her very well, Bastion. She is a mercenary, a killer for hire. And you shall be her next victim. Cecilia. This isn't you, Cecilia. This isn't the life you want or the life you deserve. I know who you really are, Cecilia, and I love you. Oh, Bastion. Watching you beg for your miserable life leaves me both amused and disgusted. Come to me, Cecilia, and be with me. Together we will make the life that you have always wanted. Yes, Bastion. What? I've been longing for those words with all my heart, and now to hear you speak them. What is this madness, Cecilia? You are my employee, and you shall obey my commands. Kill him! You should have paid attention to the fine print of my contract, Faulkner. Paragraph 63 clearly states that my task is complete when Ultra Gunner is delivered to the capital. The Ultra Gunner stands before you, and the contract has been fulfilled. Now I'm working for Bastion. Do you know what you are, Cecilia? You're not a mercenary, you're just a filthy slut. I don't care what you say about me, Faulkner. I only care about helping Bastion to destroy you. If you won't listen to me, Cecilia, then I shall have to persuade you with the power of Zulwarn. No! Leave her alone. What? You smothered my spell. How did you do that? I can feel my mind growing clearer and stronger. I can feel the power of Ultra Gunner inside of me. Darkness always succumbs to light, Faulkner, and good always triumphs over evil. For the sake of our future. Alright, let's be very careful from this point on, okay? Because Cecilia might be able to be one-shotted by Zulwarn. But the good thing is, if you look carefully at Zulwarn's HP, it's been split in half. That is when Bastion released power and completely weakened Zulwarn, and now we can actually dodge it. Look at Dark Thunder, 62% hit rate. Generally, it should have been 90+%. So let's go ahead. Dark Thunder is exactly the same as Lightning Strike, so we need to defend this. I kind of like reflect attack. It always looks funny when you get that when their attack gets deflected. Alright, so we need to be careful. Like I said, Zulwarn, although weakened, is still very strong. So let's bring Bastion close to Cecilia. And we got to make sure that Cecilia doesn't get herself killed. So we'll go here in front of Bastion. We'll use Roaring Wind. We can increase his dexterity so he can actually hit Zulwarn more often. And then we'll do a bit of turbulence spamming to increase Zulwarn's FP. Okay, so as you can see, 60% from Heaven's Gate, and Cecilia only takes like 90 something damage, right? That was the whole reason why we focused on increasing her defensive stats. That still hurt, by the way. That still hurt a lot. And remember, Faulkner, he has second attack, so yeah, we have to make sure he doesn't have enough AP to do 2 attacks at once. So we can use Holy Light on I actually just meant to explain we could have used Holy Light on Cecilia, but as you can see, I accidentally did it. Alright, so we're not going to freeze Bastion. That would be the most idiotic move we can do. And looks like we got ourselves a second turn. We'll use double lightning strikes so that we can make sure he gets not frozen but ends up skipping his turn. And our turn, Cecilia, as usual, goes behind to make her attacks. And she'll use Wind Strike rather than Somersault. And let's watch it happen, because it's always funny when Faulkner gets hit. Alright, Bash can go forward. And let's see, can Soaring Dance one-shot him? Okay, here we go. Are you ready to watch the ending after this? It actually is pretty cool. So, goodbye, Faulkner. It was nice knowing you. Till next time, in the Kingdom route. So this is my inglorious end? Death at the hands of an impetuous waif? How amusing, and yet how pathetic. The world could have been mine to control. Instead, I enter the abyss. I pray for solace in the next world. This part always makes me laugh when you level up at the end of the game. It's so pointless. It's done. Faulkner is dead. The continent is liberated and Father is avenged. Here we go. Welcome to Cecilia's Ending. Hope you enjoy it. Bastion? Isn't it a glorious view from up here, Cecilia? I never got to enjoy it when Father and I were training. It's beautiful. Someday, perhaps, the kingdom will build a monument here in his honor. His life would inspire others. Bastion, are you angry at me? About what, Cecilia? About my placing you and the others in danger. About keeping the truth from you. I'm not angry, Cecilia. I consider it my fault for not sharing my feelings with you sooner. I had to fulfill the contract, Bastion. Betray someone, even Faulkner, would be to live without honor. No one else would understand my actions. They would condemn them, and me. That is why we were destined to be put together. We understand each other in ways that no one else can. I have never been in love before, Bastion. It feels so strange, and yet so wonderful. Will our love last forever, Bastion? Or will it fade away with time? You say that as if you expect it to fade away, Cecilia. I'm sorry, Bastion. It's just hard for me to have faith in anything. I have faith in you, Cecilia, and I know you have faith in me. Yes, Bastion, I do. Are you glad that you told your friends of our relationship? I am, although I certainly wish they had been more enthusiastic. Princess Sadira seemed almost despondent. Of course, explaining that I was sealing Ultragunner away again didn't thrill them either. True. I would destroy Ultragunner if I knew how. Its power is too great, and invariably corrupting. Also true. We saw how it affected Faulkner, how it twisted his mind and his soul. I'm ready for a journey, Cecilia. Not as the Prince of the Kingdom, but as a young man with his true love at his side. Will you come with me? Of course, Bastion. I love you with all my heart. I want to be with you, now and forever. And I with you, Cecilia. Have you any idea where you would like to go first? I've always wanted to walk along the beaches of the Empire and feel the sand between my toes. By the way, may I ask you something? What is it? I don't quite know how to say this. It's alright, Bastion, just say it. How long are you going to keep wearing that maid's uniform? Oh, this? I don't know yet. I didn't like it at first, but I've learned to enjoy it. It makes me feel a bit naughty. What's wrong? Don't you like it? It's just not what I would call an especially practical outfit for the travels ahead of us. Oh, but it is, Bastion. It's very light material, and there are at least 6 large pockets. But you're not a maid, Cecilia. Bastion, I consider this the most comfortable outfit I've ever worn. You don't like it, do you? Your voice is taking on an unusually high pitch. But... No, Cecilia. Are you sure? Yes. Please? No. Pretty please? Let's be reasonable with this. Oh, beautiful. Look at those stats. Isn't it wonderful? ATC's seen 32 of 32. Missions 1, 55 out of 56. It makes me feel really happy when I edge closer and closer to 100%. Oh, beautiful. Now let's make sure we save this and not be stupid, because I don't want to redo this again. Alright, so here are the end credits for the Empire route. We just finished Cecilia's route, and we have 55 out of 56 missions completed. We have all ATACs viewed already, and in the next stream, well, not the next series of streams we're going to be doing, we are heading into the Kingdom route. We unfortunately got the good ending for the Kingdom route for our very first stream series. Haha, stupid, I didn't think this through. So for the end of the 100% route for Vanguard Bandits, we are aiming for the Kingdom route and the bad ending. Oh boy. So yeah, we're basically taking the same route that Final Fantasy XIV took for their apocalyptic ending before A Realm Reborn came out. But yeah, enjoy the end credits, enjoy the music, and we'll talk afterwards. All right, so I went in here because the music is super loud, right? So, yeah. So to reiterate, basically we are going straight into Kingdom Route for the next stream. That will be, what's the date today? So it's Thursday, April 9th right now. So on next week, April 13th, sorry, April 14th, Tuesday, we will begin our Kingdom Route run, and we'll follow the route specifically so that we end up getting the bad ending. And basically all that's going to, in order to get the bad ending for the Kingdom Route, all that's going to happen is I just need to basically attack everybody from the back, and that'll drive the morale down for the vast majority of my party members, especially Devlin. He hates that. There's no way to increase his morale at all unless you're doing it through the interview board. But yeah, we're going to do that. And we're also going to make sure we recruit Nana, although that might be a little, it's a question mark. I don't know if I should do that, because the fact is her morale for Bastion is so real easy to get her to like love you, right? She, no matter what you try, attack from the back, and whatnot, she will generally, for the most part, always end up in have the heart icon for Bastion. The only way to successfully bring her down is to have her die every single mission, and we might have to do that. But if we do that, there's really no point of collecting her, right? But yeah, then there's also Malia. Should we also get Malia too, right? Because if we do that, we need to make sure Bastion doesn't get past level 20, right? And that means I can't really attack from the back a lot, because doing that will for sure get him past level 20, because back attacks will make me damage the enemies more, basically causing me to kill them much easier, right? Because I have to defeat the enemies in order to drive down the rest of party members' morale. So there's big question marks that I need to think of, right? So, but that's how it's gonna go. Next week, Monday, April 13th, on April 14th on Tuesday, we will begin the Kingdom Route, aim towards a bad ending, and as we play, we'll decide whether or not we should go for Nana, whether or not we should go for Malia, but definitely make sure we always attack from the back to drive down the FP, to drive down morale for the party members. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Empire Route and the Cecilia ending. It's much different than the other endings in that we basically go back to square one, right? In the very first cutscene we see, it is Bastion and Camorsh on that hill overlooking near Prua village, and that's where that takes place. For the Cecilia ending, that is where it takes place. So basically a big circular thing that happened. Whereas in the other endings, we are always at inside the ruins of the Imperial Palace. So it's very interesting. A unique location for an ending. But yeah, anyways, these are the stats on the screen. Perfect. We did it. And I'll see you next week, Tuesday, April 14th, 9:15. And we should end up having, let's see, 4 missions per stream. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So 5 streams. And then 100% completion will be achieved. So thanks for watching. Next Tuesday, 9:15, April 14th. See you then. And if you have any questions, or comments about anything at all, go ahead and leave a comment, right? And I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my ability.